once again, I'm going insane. I woke up at 10, which is early for me, and I was feeling really good because Paul wakes up somewhere between 11 and 12. He's been trying to get up earlier, which is like 11, and Poppy sleeps from 12 to 1 generally. And the day before yesterday, she slept till fucking 2:45. I went to kill Paul, and then yesterday she slept till noon. We went to Nancy's. She was very active with Nancy's. She was falling asleep in the car on the way back. Like, not totally asleep, but like her eyes were drooping. And Paul was like, oh, she's gonna go to sleep when we get home. I was like, she's gonna second wing, she's going wild. And that's what happened. I know this child, and she never fell asleep in the car because I sat in the back seat to monitor her. I didn't want her to fall asleep in the car, and she didn't. And yeah, we get in the house, and she's like bouncing off the walls, wants wild play, blah, blah, blah. And we did our thing, which is she gets stuck in our room while we watch a couple of Dark Shadows, and then when we're ready to go to bed, which is after Dark Shadows, we're like, okay, it's bedtime in here. If you want to stay, it's quiet bedtime, and if you're not ready, you can come in when you're ready. And usually she comes in like pretty soon, like between 10 minutes, half hour. She's in bed with us. So it's been working out pretty well. I mean, it's not ideal. I don't know how late she stayed up. I feel like it was very late. Paul thinks it was very late because it was after he fell asleep. Whatever. I get up at 10. I feel good. I'm like, it's my time to look at my conspiracy videos and drink my Snapple and take my meds and just enjoy some time. Well, Paul gets up at 10:45, and he's like all over the kitchen and living room and talking to me and doing stuff, and like all energized and talking about plumbers and shit. And I just want to be alone. I want to be alone. You know, but at the same time, it's nice to talk to Paul, especially if he's in upbeat mood. And at one point I was like, so what do I need to do today? And he goes, housework. Which stung like a bee because it's true, I'm a housewife. I should be doing the housework. But what I meant was, do I need to call a contractor? Do I have any appointments today that I may have forgotten? The plumber, you know, like that kind of thing. And that was what I meant by the question. And his answer, even though it's realistic, it hurt. And I was like, you know what? That the last form I had to fill out last week said, can you do shopping, cleaning, cooking, and housework? And if not, why? And for most of them, I wrote overwhelmed by anxiety and depression. And that's not true every single day. And there are days where I do cook or clean. I made spaghetti and meatballs this weekend. Our dishwasher's been broken. I've been sharing the load in dishes. But generally, I'm me, and I don't really do much. Except make sure that Poppy stays alive with inadequate nutrition. And now that she's into this app called Roblox, which is like little kid Minecraft building worlds, which is cool in a lot of ways. As far as like her learning about spatial relations and math, I do money exchanges, and it's like, it's a good thing as far as computer games go. But she's obsessed. She could do it 24 hours a day. And so it's gonna make me cry. used to be the kid that like ran outside, even naked, to dig for worms and shit, like outdoor play. And maybe she's getting a little older, and that's not where she's at anymore, especially not having friends yet. And she loves it, so I try not to, make her feel bad for loving it. But I'm having a hard time with it because she could do it for 24 hours a day, 12 hours a day. She never gets tired. She never gets sick of it. This is beyond, what's that show? Pikachu, all that shit. This is beyond PVZ. So, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So I'm in this position every day, especially nice days, where I have to be like, do you want to go to the park? You want to go to the beach? Let's go to Avalon and go for a hike. And it's a very pleasant hike that she's liked many times before. And then we could have lunch at Whole Foods. It's close to Whole Foods. The only thing she's agreed to is the pool, the public pool, but so far hasn't been hot out enough. So anyway, but the thing is that I felt like this raging rage that I didn't have my alone time. And then at 12:15, he's like totally all ready to go to work. He's like out the door, and he's like, oh, like, let me see if she wants to say goodbye, which he never used to do. And it really means let me get her up, which should be a good thing. But I felt mad because I thought, okay, when he gets out the door, I'll have a little time. I'll finish up this video I'm watching, and then I'll get her up. And he gets her up, and he puts her on the couch where I am, and she's all clinging to me like a vine. And it's making me mad. Usually I would feel love. So, whatever. Okay, fast forward. I just felt unbelievable annoyance. So then, a while passes, and she tells me she wants peanut butter and jelly. Make her that. I have yogurt, and yes. Oh, you got dressed. That's a good thing.
And listen to this.
It's gooey sounding.
Then stop recording me squishing the ball.
Well, I was recording me. I was doing a vlog for Anna.
Okay.
I'll be done in a couple minutes. It doesn't go more than 14 minutes. So we eat, and then we are hanging on the couch for a while, cleaning. I'm just wearing this bra. Nightgown with no bra. How about the backyard? The backyard. Because I'm not ready to watch you and hang out with you in the front yard. Okay, I'm not dressed yet. Thank you. I hate being a mother. I'm running out of time. Hanging out. And so I was like, what are you gonna do today? Like, what do you think? What are you thinking? I have a few ideas. And she just points to the computer. And I was like, could you tell me in words? And she's like, wild wings or something. Like, some edition, some Roblox thing where there's different worlds. And I was like, you know what? I'm really sick of this. I was like, you sleep. This is like the most beautiful part of the afternoon, and you get up really late, and then you play for hours in the afternoon, and then at the very end of the afternoon, we might go out and do something, and then it's evening, and it's not a good time to be outside too much. And it bothers me so much. And I'm not, I'm okay with your interest in this, but I think the timing is bad that we've been doing. And I just, I haven't been wanting to force you out and, do what you want to do. But you know what? I feel trapped. Like, there are things that I want to go out and do things during the day. And like, I can't because I'm stuck with you. I said that. I was like, I'm stuck with you. And I guess I antagonized her too much and I was too intense. And she ran away to her bedroom, and that's when I came in here. So now she's out, she's dressed, and she's being friendly. That's kind of her deal, is she needs her decompression time. But then I always feel guilty, like, now she's all nice, but she was pissed at me. And then if I try to talk to her about it, she won't want to talk about it. Like, if I'm like, look, like, I was upset, and I spoke in a tone that I wish I hadn't, but, I do feel the way I feel, or that kind of thing. She won't want to. And so then I just feel like an asshole. And and then yesterday at Nancy's, with me and her, I mean the three of us in the room, she was like, so, any plans for the future? And Paul and I were like, today's the day, before we got there. Like, we have to. And he's like, yep, we're moving to Portland. And I swivel around on the couch and I was like, yeah, that's what we're doing. And she's like, you don't sound as excited. And I go, it's the fucking truth. And then I'm like, but I was like, we do miss it, and there's great opportunities for Poppy, and not to mention Paul's friendships and music and everything. So like, it's, but I'm worried about the housing costs there now, and so, it's a mixed bag. And then she's like, well, I'm on your side. And I was like, oh, shit. Like, and Paul just walks out onto the deck. I was like, but I was like, not. I was like, I told the truth. But then she's like, I feel sorry for Poppy not going to school and not being in the Y or any clubs. I assume she means here, where we've tried. And I was like, oh, 'cause she was like, are you still homeschooling? And I was like, yep. And she's like, God, that's when she said, I feel sorry for Poppy. I said, well, that's one of the advantages